I thought this might be a good time to share how I set up shoots with people and how I plan them and things like that. So let's get to it. We'll start with this shoot I did recently with Amber. Like most of my shoots really, it was planned by Instagram. She sent me some wardrobe possibility pictures and I responded with inspiration, and then she sent me a picture of the complete outfit. That quickly turned into a location idea, pinning down the proper time, if we would use any props or what props we might use. And since we had already shot together before, it was just a matter of getting out there and shooting. One of the many things I like about not dealing with digital is that it helps me not bury my face in the equipment as much. This is promising. If you want to set your stuff on my stuff, that's also okay. And what I mean by that is with the digital, even though you can technically not do it, there's always a temptation to look at the screen every time you shoot or after every few shots or in between setups. There's just so much staring at the camera, and you check it to make sure your settings are right. And this is also a case for getting familiar with your equipment. I don't have to think about it as much now that I've done it a few times. I'm more confident in using flash and metering light and having faith in the equipment and the science, which also opens up time for me to think about the things that are important, like interacting with my subject, composing shots, coming up with interesting ideas, interacting with my subject, and coming up with better ideas because of that interaction. I would like to point out, too, that you don't have to be a technical genius to concentrate on that part first. It just helps to have a little command and mostly a little confidence with your craft when you do that, which is why you should go out and practice as much as you can. Blow a few rolls. Definitely shoot some digital too if you need to save the money. It helps to try concepts and to see the results, and sometimes the instant results are nice to have in that case.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Watch it.
But ultimately what it comes down to is there's a little repetition involved and you'll get there. Remember, not every frame has to be perfect, digital or film. Just your feet closer to the flash, yeah. And then scoot forward a little bit. It's nice to have like dozens of great results, but you need to remember you only need a few in almost every case, I promise. And turning with your feet pointing this way, the sun has changed a little bit. Oh, that's actually good right there. I like that. And you can move the camera now too. By the way, the vibe we were going for was kind of Annie Hall-ish, I guess. Changes pretty rapidly this time of day, so. Okay. Here we go. I decided to pass on the flash for these, which kind of blew out at first, but yeah, it's worth trying to see how it turns out. And these aren't my favorites, but the ones laying down I think I really like. The light's a lot more even though the shirt kind of blows out because it's the kind of shiny silk look. But I think it probably works, and also had that Rolei XF35 on a leather strap, which I think fit the outfit pretty well. But that camera is another video a little more down the road. If you want to see higher resolution and larger versions of these photos, by the way, you can join these amazing people on the screen by joining my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. In addition to the mini photos you can get access to, I also have updates, behind the scenes information, and sometimes bonus videos, and also zine discounts. Click the link in my description to find out more. It all helps a lot and I appreciate it. Is that kind of pointing toward you? It's hard for me to see it. And then I tried what is the first roll of Ektachrome you'll see in this video. I developed it in E6, shot it at 100. I love Ektachrome with a flash. It just adds something more to it, a little more punch. And I know it's like an old trick publications used to use because of the narrow dynamic range of slide film, but it just is a really epic and distinctive look to me to have a film that is so well saturated and so well balanced, but have a subject that's flash lit against a slightly underexposed background. I think I underexposed by a stop and then 2 stops on the background with the shutter speed on most of these. I played a little with the flare on some of these and let it completely blow out and partially blow out. I rarely regret giving myself those options. And now for another example shoot with Ashley. Everything came together when she shared this one piece of wardrobe, mostly the color of it. and honestly everything fell together there pretty easily. You can keep your coat on for the moment. And you'll notice that both of these shoots came together easily, and that's really all it comes down to. It's not a movie production. I don't work with a ton of professionals. I just kind of message people with a clear and direct purpose and collaborate to come up with ideas. I don't try to steamroll them. I'm gonna get further back. I'm actually gonna do one more thing. I should add that was a little chilly, but not like super cold here. Are you okay with trying a few without the coat? Okay, you can just throw it under the flash. This shoot was a little later in the day than the last one. I was having to wait for the sun to peek around trees so I could get it properly bright enough behind her. Once again, I'm doing flash with backlit sun because that's my thing, I guess. A little bit more. There we go. For this session, I mostly wanted to use Ektachrome cross-processed in ECN2 chemistry. This seems weird, and this is E100, modern E100 we're looking at right here, but I love the slightly more muted tones you get, and especially the increase in saturation and contrast you get out of it. It feels a little bit weird to put fresh Ektachrome through a cross-processing thing that makes it a negative, but honestly, I think the colors are something that I'm really interested in right now, and I want to experiment with more, and I will have a link at the end of this video where I have a whole video about doing that. Really amazing work I'm doing.
Very professional.
Oh yeah. I want that pose next when I get this loaded, but we'll get to that in a second. So among the things we discussed before the shoot was obviously the temperature, but also variations we could have in the wardrobe. The coat made a very easy variation in the wardrobe. She could wear it and it would be a great neutral color and it'd be very distinctive and interesting. Without the coat, she has that bright dress on and it's just a really great combination. And you can also see there's a halfway point that works well too. Also, don't let a nice sunset fool you into thinking it also doesn't look good in black and white, because I definitely think it does. I'm not sure how these look without a filter, but I used an orange filter on here with this Kentmere 400. I set my light meter to 160, I think, to make up for the filter factor on the orange filter. I'm not sure if it would have been better to do 125 or if I actually did, but anyway, made it easier to guess the stops I had to compensate. I also did a video recently about using filters to jazz up your black and white photos. Hang up the coat, or maybe going without for just these last four. If it's too hypothermia inducing, let me know. Last note on the black and white, I developed it in 510 Pyro at 400 ISO. And for the last roll, I was shooting in this setup for the day. I decided to use a 2004 expired roll of Ektachrome E100 Plus, I think it's called. That's awesome. Like that. Oh, that's good. Look out that way again. I know it flashes on the back. Actually, look back this way. Then I'm going to switch the flash for the last one. Okay. I was talking about the lighting direction there. The goal was to light her face. Last one. Stay right there. Don't move. All right. Good job. Thank you. And I'm extremely pleased with how this expired slide film looks developed in ECN2 chemistry. I don't know if it's because it was refrigerated for part of its life. I'm not really sure. To make a generalization, slide film does not age or expire as gracefully as negative film tends to. Despite its low ISO, it usually washes out and discolors, but maybe it's something to do with just developing it as a negative. I'm just guessing at this point scientifically, but anyway, it looks good, and you saw how simple it was to plan all of this, and a lot of it's just getting an idea and running with it. You'll refine your process as you go, and if you take your time and don't sweat the small stuff, you'll probably get there faster than you think. Don't forget to watch these videos I referenced in this video. They're on your end screen right now. If you enjoyed this video, click like, subscribe, turn on notifications, leave a comment. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.